Hey YouTube, it's Journey to Jay. Welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to have you here. So today we're going to do our very first story time. I am going to talk to you about my coming out story. Bum, bum, bum. I'm super excited to share this because it ties into two very things that are important to me, and that is mental health as well as suicide prevention. So let's get it started. As far back as I can remember, I've always been the Jay that you know today. I've always been super extroverted, super sweet, super talented, super just me. I've always been me. So from as far back as I can remember, as far as being gay, I've never known anything different. Now, like most little boys, when you grow up, you see other boys gravitate towards having girlfriends and things like that. And I'm no different. I definitely liked little girls when I was in like the first and second grade. There was a little girl, Priscilla, that I was crazy about in, I believe, the second grade. I used to want to put my hand on her thigh when we used to sit in circle. But I soon realized that I also like to put my hand on Jacob's thigh as well. So for me, being gay was never a big deal because it was just a natural thing for me. I can't speak for everybody, and I know people have their religious beliefs and their own beliefs, but for me, as far back as I can remember, I've always been gay. So going through life, it wasn't odd for me to talk about men and boys in the way that, you know, in regards to being attracted to them. It was really accepted by my family, and it was never really frowned upon. There was a moment when I was maybe about 3 or 4 that my aunt bought me a lime green and black biker short set, and I literally wore it until the ass had holes in it, because when I put it on, you could not tell me anything. And my father used to be upset with my mom because I would switch up and down the sidewalk in that green and black suit. And that's why to this day my favorite color is lime green, because I felt invincible in that biker short set. I felt more me than I had ever felt in any other outfit that my parents had given me. So moving along, going through school was really not difficult for me because people who knew me and they knew who I was. And granted, I did go through the same things that little boys go through at, you know, certain ages. My first kiss was with this gangster girl named Amanda in like the 7th grade or so. And it was a good kiss, but I definitely wish it was somebody else. I won't say who, because I'm pretty sure I'm friends with them on Facebook and stuff. But I did the same thing that other guys do, but I always knew who I was. It was not a question. And so in high school, I think it became more prevalent that I'm different than the other guys. All of my friends were gravitating towards girls. I was gravitating more towards isolation. I kind of reclused a little bit because it kind of made me depressed. That's the first time in my life that I truly could acknowledge that I had suffered from depression, because unlike my friends who were dating and going to homecoming and prom and things like that, at that time, I thought it wasn't acceptable for me to date a guy. And it wasn't a big thing at high school. There were gay people in my high school, but they weren't, the ones who were out were in fights almost every day. And so I couldn't be that person. I just was not about to fight for my safety or virginity every day, trying to prove a point that I was gay. It just wasn't, for me at that time, that wasn't a battle that I was willing to take on. So in about 12th grade, I felt comfortable enough to talk to my Aunt Tina about it. And I told her that I was gay. But even after that, she was fine. She was like, we've known since you were a little kid. It's fine. You know, don't be ashamed. You're my chocolate bar. You're good. So fast forward even farther, I think about 2 years later, I was working at a call center called at a call center for T-Mobile or something like that. And we were having a conversation in a group. It was me, my friend Benny, and Nastasia, and we were talking about partying or something. And so Nastasia looks at me and says, well, Jay, tell me about all the gay clubs. And I was like, bitch, did you have to put me on blast like that? Because at this point, I'm not out, but it's pretty obvious that I'm gay. So that led me to realize I need to be out. I need to be open. I need to be free, because nobody, like, I didn't think people cared enough, because people who loved me regardless. So coming out at that point meant I was coming out to everybody. Like, Hugh, Diana Ross, I'm coming out, punkin' schmuckin'. So I asked my sister and my mom to lunch at the China buffet, and it was me giving them this dramatic speech of, I'm coming out, and if you disown me, I never want to see you all again, and I'm going to live in my truth. So, needless to say, my sister and my mom laughed at me and thought it was the most hilarious thing. They embraced me. They told me that they've loved me since I was little. They've always known it's not a big deal. You know, let's have a party. Let's have a coming out party. So, for me, my experience wasn't a negative one, thankfully. But I know so many other people do suffer from negative experiences when coming out and trying to live in their truth. And so for me, I think I carried the burden of thinking I had to hide something from everyone, and that caused me a great deal of anxiety, a great deal of depression, because I felt like I needed to hide something that truthfully everyone knew. People who knew me and had known me over a course of years knew that I'm Jay, I'm gay, and it wasn't a big deal. But I think sometimes when we feel like we have to hide something, we tend to put more unnecessary pressure on ourselves than we need to. And I know I did that for me. So I carried a burden like that for years. And it led me to overthinking. It led me to this anxiety that I still deal with today in my 30s, because I felt like I needed to keep this secret. So that brings me to suicide prevention. There was a moment when I was maybe 18 or 19 where I wanted to take my life because I didn't feel worthy of being here and being gay. And I look back at it now and I'm like, that was so selfish of me, because had I taken my life, I wouldn't have lived to know that it gets better and know that things change. Now, don't get me wrong, life doesn't improve overnight just because you come out of the closet, but life definitely does get better in time, and it's important that you stick around to know that. Now, when it comes to suicide, even as close as recently, about a month or two ago, it's crossed my mind, and that's what let me know I needed to get my mental health in check. Because when you start to transition in your life in different ways, there are going to be moments where you question your worthiness, you question your purpose, and you question what you're here for. And I know for me, a few weeks ago, I came to that point, and I hate to say, I don't hate to say this because I think it's good to be transparent, but I had found myself at another point in my life as an adult, and I wanted to take my life. And thankfully, I have the forethought to think outside of my emotions at the moment. I have the emotional intelligence to do so. Not saying that if you don't have that, you're wrong or something's wrong with you. I'm just thankfully able to step outside of myself and question myself and say, is this really what you want to do? Is this worth it? Are the things that you're unhappy about today going to matter tomorrow, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now? And the honest answer was no. So I say all this to say that there are going to be bad days. There are going to be bad nights. There are going to be bad friends. There's going to be bad men. There's going to be bad women. But it's up to you to know and realize that things can get better. They will get better. They won't get perfect, but they definitely can get better. So for me, I think the biggest message I want anyone who's watching this video to take away is that it gets better, it gets greater later, and that you will find amazing friends. You will find the man that you love. You will find the woman you love. You will find everything that you desire, but you have to be patient, and you have to be the person you need to be to acquire those things. So for me, I really want to do the self-work, and I am doing the self-work to make sure that I'm good and make sure that I'm prepared for when the divine or the universe sends what's supposed to be in my life. I'm prepared for it. I truly believe in what Oprah says, preparation meets opportunity, and that's grace. And for me, that's where I'm at right now. And I have a great circle of friends. Literally, for the first time in my life, I have the most supportive, loving friends that I've ever come across. Some of them get on my nerves a lot of times, but a lot of times I wouldn't know how to make it from day to day without them. I'm in a super good spot with my family, with my mom, my sister, even my father. Like, I'm in a good spot. And so I have no reason to be selfish. I have no reason to think about taking my life because I deserve to be here and worthiness is my birthright. And I'll be very honest with you guys. I was super scared to make this video, especially the part about the recent thoughts of suicide and the recent depression that I went through, because a lot of times people think you're posting stuff like this for sympathy. And honest, I'm not emotional about it because I know that I've worked through it and I know that I'm in a better place. But I'm posting this video because if there's one person who this resonates with and it saves one person's life, or it allows one person to free themselves or even reach out to get help, then I've done my job. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my coming out story. I know it went a little fast and I wish I could have been more detailed, but I live a very boring gay life, so it's not as exciting as others. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will continue to subscribe, like, and comment on the videos, and we'll have another video soon. I'm trying to bang them out as fast as possible for you guys, but I only want to give quality content, and I only want to do things that are true to me. So continue to rock with me, and it'll get better. But listen, more than anything, if you know somebody that's dealing with depression, anxiety, if you know someone who's always smiling but they never tell you anything about themselves and they're real reclusive, the strong friends are always the ones with the heaviest burdens and the biggest secrets, and they need the love the most. And I, as that person, I can tell you sometimes you need to be able to reach out, and it's not an easy thing. It is so not easy to reach out to people when you're the hero all the time. But Beyonce, my idol, has a song, and it's called Save the Hero. I encourage you to listen to it because I often feel like that. But who's going to save the hero after the hero saves the world? And everybody needs somebody. We're accountable for each other. And if you have friends, loved ones, or anyone who deals with depression or anxiety, reach out to them. They need your love. They need your care. And if you or someone you know are dealing with it, find a way to work through it because it really does get better. So I'm rambling at this point, but this has been such a pleasure to share with you guys. And I feel good sharing it because I'm not worried about judgment. I'm more worried about the person who needed to see this and not the person who feels the need to judge me for saying this. So thank you for watching. Goodbye. Share this number. If you or someone you know is thinking about or contemplating suicide, share this number. It is important that we all are accountable for each other. This is a very important cause to me, as I've been someone who's lived through it, and I'm someone who advocates for suicide prevention. So I hope that you will take the level of severity and save this number into your phone, because you never know when you'll need it or when someone else you love will need it. I wish you all miracles and blessings, and thank you so much again for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye.